Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm super excited to tell you that today we're diving into an interesting topic, that is the Microsoft Azure AI Foundry. Have you ever wondered how businesses are building their own custom AI solutions just to solve the real world problems that they face? Well, Azure AI Foundry is one of the big reasons for this whole transformation. So whether you're an AI engineer or an architect who's looking to build their own AI applications, understanding all of the tools, architecture, and how to deploy the whole model is a must. And that's exactly what we're going to cover in this video. So let's jump in and get started.
Hey guys, this is Atul from Team K29 Academy, and in this lab or step-by-step hands-on lab, we are going to look at everything about Microsoft Azure AI Foundry, what that is, the tools, the components, the architecture, how does it look like. We're also going to look at the hubs and projects that you're going to create, and we are actually going to create that, and then we're going to deploy a model. And recently, the DeepSeek R1 became available on Microsoft Azure Cloud. So we're going to deploy that, and we could go very high level, very basic level. And then in future videos, we're going to go a little bit deeper into that as well. So we'll also look at what are the prerequisites that you should be doing and any other thing that you need to know and understand, and all the associated documentation will be available for you as well. And the most important is if you hit any problem in performing this lab, you can click on this particular link here and post your question or issue so that we can help and answer you. With that, let's look at the actual architecture. How does it look like, the AI Foundry? Now, just to look at from a AI Foundry point of view, this is first of all, what exactly is the AI Foundry? It's a comprehensive platform developed by Microsoft for a developer or an architect like you and me to develop AI-based applications as well as agent as well. So it's a very comprehensive program on that. If you look at the architecture of AI Foundry, you have first there's something called as projects and management center, and we're going to look at what that project and management center are. Now, these projects are categorized in something called as hub resource or hubs, and which will also look at what that hubs is when you're going to go and actually create them. There is a management layer or management center as well. In future, we're going to look at these management center as well. Now, there are two type of Microsoft Azure. If you've been working on AI, there is a OpenAI related services or OpenAI services, and then also Azure AI services are available. So Azure AI services are language, speech, which is predefined applications or predefined AI services like content, document, as all those things. You can those are our services, and you also have Azure OpenAI services. Now all this within Azure Foundry. OpenAI services, Azure OpenAI resources, you can directly be available and accessible, or you can also go through and access them through the connections in Azure AI Foundry. Later, we're going to create, when we're performing, we're going to create these connections. Or you can go and look at Azure AI services also through connections that we'll see. Now, in order for you to perform, you will need storage, networking, compute, security, all those things. All those services will again come through the connections within. So it's probably pretty much loosely coupled architecture that we'll be seeing. The other thing which before we go and create this actually is a concept of hubs and projects. And now what exactly is hub? Hub is nothing act as a central place for teams to organize AI related activities. So you can think of it as like our team or a development environment, test environment, or you can categorize via the via a particular maybe a different department or whatever you want to organize them, where you put all your AI related activities. Again, in future videos, we're going to go and perform deeper into organizing hubs and projects. Now within hub, you create one or multiple projects. So if you look at the architecture of this, it can have a hub can have one or more or zero or more projects in each hub. Now also in hub that you have connected resources, this is where your OpenAI or Azure AI services will be integrated, and you'll understand them when you go and perform, when we're going to go and actually perform them as well. So and then we're going to, so in order for you to perform, just below this video, you'll have a step-by-step guide as well, which will go a little bit deeper into these concepts that you probably see. So maybe worth looking at this guide and reading a little bit more. I've given you very 30,000 foot view in a very short span of time. You can read more about these things, and there'll be also associated links. You can go a little bit deeper. Now, in order for you to perform this lab, you need to have a Azure cloud account, which is a portal.azure.com. We already have created this account in the past, but if you don't have, you can follow this guide or go and search it should be in the portal, which if you already have, if not, go and create that portal as well. So let me just show it to you on where you go and portal.azure.com. I've already logged into this portal, this is where you create your storage, network, compute. If you've done Azure AI services or OpenAI services in the past, this is where you go and create this services, which is portal.azure.com. Now, uh, on the same platform, you're going to use ai.azure.com, and that's your Azure AI Foundry, which was earlier Azure AI Developer Portal or Azure AI Portal that you used to use access earlier. So what you're going to do in order to perform ai.azure.com. So I'm going to go on here. I've already logged in on here, but I'll quickly close these ones and ai.azure.com. When you go, it's going to open my Azure AI Foundry, which is a developer portal or tool for developers and designers to design AI-based applications and agents. So this is where you go. First time you have to create project, and as I said, project will reside inside a hub. So it automatically, if you have a hub, it'll create, or it'll give an if you have, it'll give an option to create inside, or it'll create it for you. So first thing we are going to do, if it's first time you're doing, you're going to create a project. Now I can project any name. I'm using my colleague's account, so K20 Academy, and I probably use project, and I might say AI uh, 01, and I'll put a little bit of my name as well so that um, my team knows that this is what we're going to create or I have created it. Now, within that, by project will, when I create a project, this project will need some default things like subscription. I'll explain you all these things. And what you can do is you can use the default one, but I want to customize and I can show it to you what does they look like on here. So first of all, as I said, project will reside inside a hub. Currently, I don't have a hub. I'm going to create that. As I said, I'm going to create that hub. So I'm going to say hub is a collection of collaborative environment where all your teams, different teams work on all AI related projects. And within a project, then you can subcategorize that into projects as well. So I'm going to create a hub. So we'll say hub, a hub 01, and maybe I'll put K21 hub and Atul 01, or you name whatever you want to name this particular hub. Now, subscription, this is where all your billing and all those things will go. So I have multiple subscriptions in that. I'm going to use one of the subscriptions which are available for you. Now, resource group is nothing but collection of resources. Later, earlier, we said that it'll go and create other dependent things. Let me go back onto this diagram here on this architecture that we were talking about. So it needs storage, or it needs key vault for security, or for key management, keys for security. It also need all the other dependent things will be coming, or connections, or these services will come and will be bundled or grouped together in a resource group. So that's what that resource group we are doing. So I'm also going to create a resource group here, which is, maybe I'll put it again, K20 dash RG dash AI Foundry. Just whatever name you want to do, you can do it. And then dash Atul for name, and click on next. It'll create, in that case, it'll create a resource, resources within this resource group. Now, again, if you're inside our Azure for beginners, we go and a little bit deeper into resource group. We play with that. But if you use Azure for some time, you probably might already know what is a resource group is. If not, go back to Azure for beginners basics concept. Now, this the location is a geographical location or a data center in which it will create these resources. So now, because I want to create a DeepSeek, that DeepSeek is not available in Sweden. So I'm going to create them into US. I think they are available in US East. Um, so East US2 or East US. So I'm going to pick East US2 because I've created and tested in past. In Sweden, it's not available. If you want to see, um, just you can go to this data region and see if that is available or not. So I wanted to go to DeepSeek. Um, I'm not sure it's available. It's showing here. For some reason, it's not coming into search here, but I know I've tried and tested it, created it here. So maybe it's not yet in search here, but definitely it's East US2 available. Now, this was talking about connected resources. If I go back to this architecture, this connected resources that we are doing connections, we are connecting to AI services or using Azure OpenAI resources so that I can access them through AI Foundry, or my storage or Key Vault. That's where it's coming from this. So I'm going to create a um, new connection on here, which is, it's already creating a new connection here, which is this. If you don't have, you can either create, or you can create it from Azure portal and bring it here as well. So I'm going to create, instead of that, I'm going to create a new AI service, and we'll name it as K21 dash Azure AI connection. And then it will go and create other services that later we'll see that. Click on next here. And then it also can do Azure AI search. I'm going to leave it to default. I'm not connecting it. In future, we'll see these things and click on next. This is what it's doing. So I'm creating a project which is inside a hub, and that hub reside in a physical location. It's in a resource group, and then it also has some connections with AI services. This is the AI service creating, and click on create. And now it will take probably 5-10 minutes, and I'll create this resource. I'll pause it for a minute, or maybe let's go back to the documentation in the meantime and see what basically extra we're doing. So we've created uh, the project, AI hubs and projects that we've created. Now, as I said, once this is done, or saying as DeepSeek is available on these particular regions, so if I go and expand, maybe I think it's here. Let me close this. Yeah, so DeepSeek is available on these regions at the time of recording this. East US 2, West US 3, North Central US, East US, these are the regions it's available. So that's what I wanted to show it to you. And once it's available, once it's created, let it create these resources. And then we'll actually go and show it to you on resource group and Azure portal, how it's being created. So let me go back. It's still creating some of these things. It has created a storage account, it's created a key vault, and it's now creating an AI service and then AI hub and project. So if I go on back here, this is my Azure portal. And if I search for resource group, resource groups, yeah, and this is it has created this resource group as creating in East US2. And if you look at inside this resource group, it's creating all these resources. It's creating connections that we saw earlier. It's creating the key vault. All the connection security keys will be stored in this. It's also creating a storage account to store that. And it also creates some services as well once this is created. So we'll wait. I'll pause this recording. I'll come back, give it probably 5-10 minutes, and it should be ready. So it created the resources and automatically brought it here, and you'll see a screen like this. This is my Azure AI Foundry portal with a project which I created just now. And in that project, I have all the other things as well that you'll see. Now, this is where the management center I was talking about. So if you go and look at the architecture, which I mentioned here in this diagram earlier, if you go up, this management center that you see here is related to that you see. This is the management center. Now, again, what are these management center? In future videos, I'm going to go a little bit deeper. I wanted to just show it to you, keep it short under 20 minutes. We'll cover all these things a little bit later, but I want to go back to the project. This is where you'll see all the um, hubs, projects, quotas. This is where you see all the hubs that I've created, projects I've created within that hub. And in future, you will see all those things, all the other model deployment. As I said, I'm going to cover this bit later, but for now, go back to projects. And this is where you see all other and all the development related things you're going to see here. For now, I want to keep it short and quick and to the point. I want to show you the model deployment and so on. This is where on this model deployment, models and endpoints, this is where you will go and pick up the models and deploy those models. Now, on when you deploy the model, you select on this model deployment and say you want to deploy a base model or already a fine-tuned model, which you already have developed and fine-tuned a model and you're deploying that fine-tuned model. I'm going to deploy a base model for now because I don't have any fine-tuned model. And from here, you're going to search what all model that you want to deploy. And here, as I said, I wanted to do DeepSeek. So let me see if there's a DeepSeek. Yeah, so this is a DeepSeek R1. You can also do, and it'll come here and you can click confirm. I think in the documentation, we have picked up both DeepSeek as well as one more, which is I think GPT 3.5 model. So under model endpoint, this is where I was deploying. So this is a DeepSeek, and then I've also done GPT 3.5. I'll show it later. For now, just simply confirm. Now this is where it's saying pricing. You can check the pricing in terms, what will pricing are there on this. But again, it's pay per users basis that you will be seeing on for. So currently priced at 0. Things might change in future, so please pay attention on this on here. Now this is the deployment name. I'm going for this particular model deployment. So click on deploy. I'll go and deploy this model. We'll wait for this again. It takes very short few minutes. I'm going to cancel this. I'm not interested in this. Now, once this is deployed, you will have a playground and you can play with this model as well. I'll show it to you and then we'll do one more model and then you can do deploy more. Now, in future videos, we're going to look and go a little bit deeper into these AI Foundry as a service. So if you look at this is still creating, I'll pause this point here. So it is created or it is deployed successfully. And then now you can go and click on open in playground or open this playground. So right just right now, as I said, I'm going to keep it high level as we said here. This is a chat playground for DeepSeek. And then later we're going to, you can create some applications and use that inference, model inference in your application. Now you won't understand it right now. In future, as we go deeper, you will go a little bit deeper in these concepts. So this is where you can have a chat and you can say any parameter you can see or anything that you can give it. So I'm going to say which one is better, uh, DeepSeek or OpenAI. And like that, you can use this particular model in your chatbot as one of the application use cases. Then later you can have more and more use cases. Just wanted to show the playground, chat playground as well. Now this is where you will get all the answers within that. I think it's it's a little bit slow. It's coming, but basically it will give you the all the answers related to using this model, which is DeepSeek model. And then you can go and play that as well. I'm going to do one more model and then you can play the same thing. Will be deploying one more model that you see on this project. So again, we already have this one model. You can click again, deploy a base model, and you can pick and select one more model, which is I think Turbo 3, which I mentioned here, GPT Turbo 3. So I'll search. Um, Again, this is for chat and it'll deploy. It's pretty much same. It's also getting, no, in this case, you also have a deployment type and depending on it'll be what kind of a workload you have, depending on that, you'll be selecting the deployment type as well. I'm just here, we are just playing with that. In future, we'll select and we'll look at on some of these things as well. So click on deployment and it'll go and create same. And you can again also open a playground and you can play with this the way just now and you can go and play these things as well. So that's pretty much on for this particular lab. Right now, I'm going to give you a few more instructions for you to follow. Before you go, make sure you delete these services as well. And much before that, go and update, create the notes from this lab and then go and share your LinkedIn profile saying what you've learned. What is, for example, some of the things or some of the tips you can pick it from here is about, for example, how does the architecture look like? What are the hubs and projects that we mentioned, what this tool is, what are the connections are, what are the models available depending on the region that you do, and a lot more other things. You can prepare notes and say, I've done it for some client and implemented. So share your learning and share with what you've learned with others so that you can build your authority on this particular domain. Uh, this is the way to format and share it with your others. Also go and also share your win within the community as well. So what you need to do is you have maintaining, I'm assuming you're maintaining a diary, which if you're not sure, go and look at this post. Make sure you open a diary if you have not done so that you can track all your progress on how you're performing day by day. This is, I'm maintaining my diary as well. So that is where I'll update so that it keeps me accountable. It also update if I'm progressing. It will also inspire others to perform this lab as well. And yeah, so go and update that. And finally, make sure that you go and delete these resources. Now, how we're going to delete these resources are we simply go to come to my portal, which is this time we are going Azure portal and search for a resource group. And then you click on resource group and search for the resource group that you created. I created two, I already had one. So I'm going to pick this, go to this resource group, whatever resource group you have created for this particular thing, and click on delete the resource group. Now, when you click the resource group, it's going to ask you for the name of the resource group. Let me, so this is the delete resource group. Let it come. Copy this resource group now from here and select it now and click on delete and then delete. Now what is going to happen is all the resources within that resource group will be deleted. Now this is the beauty of resource group. All within you can control and centrally manage all the resources. So all my resources like my storage account, Key Vault, project, hub, and AI services, all of those dependent things will be deleted as a part of this. So that's pretty much in this particular lab. Now, as I said, if you hit any problem in this particular lab, if anything is not clear, if you have any doubts, then post it under this comment thread here. And just go and leave a comment so that we can help and guide you as well. Now, this is just a very basic lab that we have done. Later in Azure AI Foundry, we are going to go a little bit deeper and do some more labs as well. So stay tuned. But I hope you understood on a very high level how to play with Azure AI Foundry, which is a platform for AI developers, AI architects to build or design and build AI applications and agent. With that, this is Atul from Team Keaton Academy. I look forward to see you in the next video.
And that's a wrap. You now got a solid understanding of the entire Azure AI Foundry. And in this video, we've discussed things like how you could set up your own projects, create your own hubs, connect to all of the resources that you have, eventually for deploying the AI models. With all of this knowledge, you're actually ready to start building. But hey, this is just the beginning. In the upcoming videos that we have, we're going to dive deeper into the AI services that Azure has to offer. And that's something you don't want to miss at all. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to stay up to date with all of our future tutorials. And trust me, there's so much more learning yet to come. And if you're ready to go all in Azure AI Foundry, make sure to check out our free Azure AI ML Masterclass by clicking the link in the description below. And with this, I'll see you all in the next video.